Hi everyone. Well, I'm back today for a second helping of the altered tea bag. I realized that there was a couple of things I forgot to mention, and some of the comments that have been left on the first video about the tea bags. I just wanted to address one or two of those, and then tell you something else that I had thought of that I actually left out. These are so much fun, and I'm glad to see that there's been a really good response to this, that you guys are really anxious to do these too, because they really are fun. That makes me really happy. But I wanted to show you a couple of things. Someone asked about the different teas and would they make a difference in how the bag is stained, and it absolutely does. This is a green tea, and it is very light in color. This one is also green tea, and you can see it's still light, but it's a little bit darker because I actually had thrown, I'm sorry, this is not green tea, this is black tea. But I had thrown it in with some green tea that I was steeping for a pitcher of iced tea. And so it doesn't get very dark, even though it's black. You can see there's a little bit more stain on the bag itself. It's a little bit more stained, but overall, it's about the same color as the green tea. So when you do the black tea alone, okay, so here's a comparison. Okay, this is how the tea bag, the black tea stains when it's just black tea. So. And it also depends on the strength of the tea that you make. For instance, how many tea bags are you using? So when I did this, I believe I'd made a really strong batch. I was going to be staining some lace, and I wanted a nice dark tea so that I could get a nice color on the lace. So if you make a weaker tea, it may not stain quite as dark. So I just want to let you know that there are differences in the teas that you use. And if you use some herbal teas, like ones that have like berry flavors, you might get a purpley pinkish color on your tea bag. So it's worth trying out some of the different teas. You probably have some teas in your, if you're like me, you've got teas in your pantry that are just sitting there. You really need to use them. And so I'm going to try out some of those berry flavored teas, because I like those anyway. I drink so much coffee that I forget about tea a lot of times. But I do have lemon ginger tea occasionally, because I really like ginger a lot. And you can see from this bag that it is even lighter than the green tea, because there's just really no color to it at all. It's ginger in there, and no dark tea leaves whatsoever. So that I wanted to show you the color of this. And then while I have it in my hand, this was the other thing that I wanted to mention. I've taken the tag off of this because I wanted to show you another type of tea bag. You all probably have some like this that are folded over and stapled at the top with the tag string stapled there. So what I do for these is I just open up the staple on the back and very carefully pull it out so that it doesn't rip the tea bag. And then in the case of this kind of bag, it will fold open like this, okay? So you have a choice. If you want, you can simply cut off the bottom the same way that I do these, and I just trim the bottom off. And then you would have two tea bags basically, because this is actually like a double tea bag. So you can do it that way if you want to, or you can open it up like this, and this area back here where it's put together is basically just folded up. So all you're going to do is unfold it. If you want to, you can unfold it and it'll just pull right apart. Okay, and then if you'd like to put it back together later, you can just put it back with a little tiny bit of glue here and there just to hold the seam in place. But for me, I just feel like it makes more sense to just snip off the bottom or snip it in half. You know, you can put your scissor right up in here and cut it in half. But you can open it up and make your art on a single layer if you want to. I just kind of feel like it's a little bit more trouble to have to open it up, glue it back together and all that stuff. So I just tend to cut it across the bottom. I think I have one here. Okay. Yep, here's one. See, and I just snipped it, you know, right across, and I made 2 out of it. Now, this is the exact same kind of tea, the lemon ginger tea, and you'll notice that it's darker, and that's because I want them to be darker. And so when I'm brewing some of the black tea, I will use tea bags that are too white. I will just drop them, tag and all, into the tea mixture. And make them a darker color. So you can see you can get this from one of these just by dropping it in the tea mixture that you're brewing of the black tea. So short video, I just wanted to show you a couple of these, you know, different options, and give you just a tiny bit more information than I had previously given you. And so I hope that's beneficial to you guys. I wanted to show you that I did show in the end of the video the close-ups of the details that I had added, and I did paint this little tag for this one, and I stamped it on the front and the back. I just did opposite colors, the border and the flower, and so I did the opposite colors on the back of the border and the flower. And I did add a little bit more of the red and white checked tissue paper or deli paper there, like I had added down here, to finish off that tag. I mean that tea bag, the side of it. And I drew a border around it and added the word love to that. The back of this one also has a heart. Okay. And I think those were the only changes that I hadn't really told you about. This one I did color in the bird with a little bit of Prismacolor pencils. I just did a dark color on the top, a lighter brown in the belly area here, and then a cream color on the bird's chest. So he just, you know, just has a little bit more color to him, colored in the tree branch too. If you have other questions, you know, you think of some other things, you can put them in the comments of the video, and I'll try my best to answer them. I have only begun, really just begun doing this. These are my very first tea bag art. So I don't have all the answers, but I may be able to find out what you're needing to know, or even try it out myself and let you know later. But I just think it's so much fun, and I do want to encourage everybody to do it. I'll probably be using one of these tea bags, maybe 1 or 2 of these, in some projects coming up. So keep your eye out for that. I'll be making a tag, you know, for the little tag book that I'm making, where I use one of the dessert morsels every month, you know. So I'll be using probably one of these on a tag or something similar anyway. And I have plans to use, hopefully this one, I believe I'll use this one on a morsel crumbs cleanup. So I'm looking forward to doing that too. So anyway, stay tuned, you guys, and have fun with your tea bag art. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.